Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel and to another unboxing video. So today sees the release of the brand new plastic Leviathan Dreadnought. This is the close combat version with the siege claws and the siege drills. There's also going to be a range version coming, which we'll talk about a bit later. But first up, we've got the close combat version, so let's get it unboxed. So this is another one of the 4-year-old kits that's made its way over to plastic, and it's one of the more popular ones as well. So as I said in my Rhino unboxing video, I love what they've gone for with the Horus Heresy packaging. I love the style of the artwork. I think it's a step up on some of the other box arts that they've gone for. Again, on the front we've got Sons of Horus as what seems to be their Heresy studio scheme. And if we turn it over, you can see they've painted it up as a Sons of Horus Dreadnought. We get siege drills in the kit as well as siege claws. Now you can build 2 claws, 2 drills, or 1 of each, but you can't actually build all 4, which we'll talk about when we have a look at the sprue. We also get twin link Volkite calibers for the Carapace weapons, or you can equip heavy flamers, and there's a Phosphex discharger as well, and there's a transfer sheet in the box. Another thing that I mentioned in my Rhino video, if we look at the tabs as you were unboxing it, we've got the Loyalist logo on that side, and on this side we've got the Traitor symbol as well, so a bit of a nice touch for the packaging. But anyway, let's get it unboxed and see what we've got. Unfortunately mine got a bit battered in transit, but never mind. So it comes on 4 sprues. We've got our instruction book, which we'll have a look at shortly. Transfer sheet with Imperial Fists and Sons of Horus, and an 80mm base. So as I said, it comes on 4 sprues, and I think for the range version as well, 3 of the sprues, which is these 3, are going to be identical. So the range version and the close combat version are going to share these 3 sprues, and then rather than this sprue in the range version, we'll be getting weapons rather than the claws and the drills, but we'll have a look at that in a moment. So first sprue is going to be the legs and the feet. So as with the Contemptor Dreadnought, very poseable from the looks of things. There's tons of little bits for the feet to put it together, and there's actually 3 feet in the kit rather than 2. So we've got 2 flat feet with the bottoms of the feet there, but then there's also a foot that's got hanging and raised toes, so you can have the Dreadnought striding forward, and that'll go with that piece there. Blank cod piece there on this sprue, and you'll see some more options on one of the other sprues as well. So that's the legs. Next up, we've got some body options and some of the Carapace mounted weapons. So that's one of the cod pieces. So we've got a Loyalist version there, and then we've also got a cod piece with the Traitor symbol. 2 chest pieces, so we've got one with some scroll work and then one with some lightning bolts there, and there's another one on one of the other sprues which we'll check out in a second. The head is similar to the Contemptor, so it's 2-piece that you've got to stick together and just hide that seam line. That's the trim for the Carapace, which I'm really glad is a separate piece because I think it looks awful. I mean, you may like it, but I'll definitely be leaving that off. And if we look at some of the Carapace mounted weapons, if we just turn it over, you can see there's some holes on these Carapace weapons where you can actually put some, I think they're 3mm by 1mm magnets. So when I do my magnetising video, which I'll be filming later on today, I'm going to see if I can magnetise these weapons. I'll actually see if they push fit as well. If they are snug enough for a push fit, I won't bother with the magnets, but there's some corresponding holes on the body which we'll look at in a moment, but you can definitely magnetise your Carapace mounted weapons. For the Volkites, I'm not sure where you'd stick the magnet. Maybe you'll be able to get one in there, we'll just have to have a look. But that's one of the other body sprues, and then this is the other one, which again I said will probably be shared across the other kit. So we've got our main armour pieces there, we've got another back area for the head, there's a spike one on the other sprue, and that's the blank chest piece that we talked about there as well. So if we just have a look on this side, just find the holes, there they are. So as I said, for the Carapace mounted weapons, this is the corresponding side where you'd put your other magnets. As I said, I'm going to see if I can push fit them, but if not, I'll be putting some magnets in there and magnetising the Carapace weapons as well, so I can swap between the Volkites and the heavy flamers. So they're the 3 body sprues, which I think are going to be shared across the 2 kits. And in terms of the weapons sprue, this is what we get with this one. So, as I said, you can build 2 claws or 2 drills, or you can build 1 of each, but unfortunately you can't build 4 just from this one sprue. If you wanted to build 4 and swap between 2 claws and 2 drills, you'd have to buy another one of these sprues, which GW have made available separate today, so you can get that, but you only get enough to build 2 hand sections, or wrist sections if you like, with this bit being sort of the palm of the hand, where you would fit the claw sections on here or the drill sections depending on which option you're going for. In terms of magnetising, I'm going to be magnetising these, and I'll be filming that a little bit later on today. So if we look at the joints where the arm comes down and meets the wrist section, if I just show you my Contemptor Dreadnought, which I magnetised, so on this kit they made a hole here already, so it was easy to just drop a magnet in there, and on the inside of the weapons you can see there's just a magnet in there on these pieces, and it's very easy to just drop a magnet in and magnetise your weapons. So that's what I've done with the Contemptor. But for this one, they have made it a little bit more difficult. It is doable, but say if we look at sort of the corresponding piece for the Leviathan Dreadnought, if you turn it over, there is holes for magnets, and this looks like 6mm by 1mm. I've put a 5mm one in there, and there is a little bit of play, so I'm assuming that's 6mm by 1mm. And then we look at the inside piece. So on the Contemptor, this is sort of the equivalent piece where there was a hole for the magnet. You actually glue these two together. So I think once you've glued them together, you could drill a hole in the two pieces glued together and put a magnet in, but it may be a little bit difficult. Or you could just drop magnets in here, maybe some 2mm by 1mm magnets. We'll have to wait and see. But I think in terms of magnetising it, the best way of doing it is going to be where the upper arm comes down, rather like the way people have magnetised the resin versions. So I think that might be what I'll do, but as I said, at the end of this video I'm going to get this built and I'm going to do the magnetising, and then I'll film it and I'll get that video posted either later tonight or tomorrow morning. Also, one thing I wanted to mention in terms of magnetising is we get power cables for the arms. So we get two of each. We get a long one and a short one depending on how you pose the arm. But if you're going to be fitting these cables, that is going to limit how you pose the arm. So if you're magnetising it, you might not want to bother with these cables. I'm certainly going to leave them off, because I think for a big armoured Leviathan Dreadnought that's going to be smashing its way through close combat, you don't want something as vulnerable as a power cable hanging down that somebody can shoot or snip or whatever. But that's just me. I'm going to leave those off. Maybe I can investigate using some guitar string as power cables, because it's flexible and you could just pose it how you want. But as I said, I'll be leaving those off, I think. So that's the close combat sprue. I think for the range version, you won't get this sprue. You'll just get the weapon sprue instead, but the other three sprues you'll get in the kit the same as you would do. So let's just have a quick look at the instruction book. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, very, very poseable, and there's tons of bits to put together in the kit just to make the legs. So on this, it's suggesting that you make the legs and the hips first and get your pose right. So I would recommend that you don't use super glue, use plastic glue, because once you put it together you've still got a little bit of play, so you can sort of get your pose how you want it before the plastic glue kicks in and the chemical reaction welds it all together. So that's what I'll be doing. I did that with the Contemptor. And then moving on, you build the body section and put the arm plates on. You've got a choice of your Carapace weapons there, and then it's onto the arms. So these two pieces that are glued together, I think that's where you could maybe drop some magnets in there. The problem being the bit that slots in between this section, there's no hole in it to put a magnet, so that's these pieces here. So as I said, maybe you could drill a hole in here and put a magnet. We'll just have to wait and see. But I think what I'm going to do is magnetize here. So I'm going to put a magnet in there and a magnet in there. So maybe I won't have the elbow bend, but I will have the swivel at the sort of bicep area of the Dreadnought. But anyway, that's it for now. As I said, I'm going to get the Dreadnought built up now, get it magnetised, and I'll get that posted as soon as I can. But I just thought we'd do a quick unboxing of the Leviathan Dreadnought. I'm looking forward to seeing the range version of this and see what options come with it. So apparently I think you get 3 weapons, and that's it for the range version. I think there's just going to be 3 main weapons, but if you're magnetising it, at least you've got the choice of swapping between the two. So you could have a sort of a static pose for your ranged one and a striding forward pose for your close combat version. But if you swap the weapons between, it's got a little bit of variety there anyway. So that's it, just a quick unboxing. I'll get cracking with the magnetising video, and hopefully that'll be posted in the next sort of 24 hours. If you're not subscribed to the channel, maybe consider subscribing so you don't miss out on that one. And if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like and let me know what you think of the kit in the comments. That's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Cheers.